to do a brief tutorial of how to go about starting a business, how to go about reselling what you have around the house. We know a lot of people are going without food stamps right now, EBT, we used to call it back in the day, food stamps. And you got to know if you haven't received them. I was reading over some things last night that it doesn't look good out here. But you know what? You don't have to rely on anybody else to take and make ends meet for you. You have to rely on you and God. And how are you going to provide for what you need when you don't have any money, you don't have any gas in the car, your bills are due, the beginning of the month, the rent is made, all of these holidays and things are going on? How do you take and make ends meet? How do you go about looking around your house for the things that you don't use? So many things we buy so often and we don't utilize them. They just sit there, get dust. We move it from place to place. We put it in the attic. We put it in the basement. And then we're on about something else. So what I want to share with you is how to go about starting a business. And one of the things I learned years ago, like I said, I've been in the street vending business and the reselling business between 8 and 20 years. And I've just got some tips for you. When you go around your house, you can take and look for what you don't need or no longer is being utilized. You can start with kids' clothes. One of my main things I would used to sell was kid clothing, and as a reseller, people would often take and discard their things on the side of the road, and I would go, yes, I did, and I would pick up those things. At first, when I started reselling, I was kind of like, oh, I was with my pastor, and she would say, "Stop, Sister Brenda." I'd be like, "Stop." But then I learned and I was being taught how to take and do business. And as you read through the scriptures, God always will make a way out of no way. But then what is his way? He always provides for his people. But the question is, will in this time when you don't have and you need money and you've gone through the house, you've gone through the couch, you've gone through the dresser drawers, the bureau drawers, the kitchen drawer, and you don't have any money. Sometimes you don't have a penny, or you could just collect coins. I remember when I used to take and try to get gas for my car. 3 kids, a single parent. Didn't know where the next penny, nickel, or dime was coming from. No child support, no other resources. And I would go and I would take and pick up the cans and stuff and things like that. So the question is, well, I didn't have anybody to ask because, after a while, people don't really want to you coming to them saying, oh, can I borrow this? Can I? And I was not a big borrower. I always limited asking people if I can have. So I want to teach you today how to go about taking what you have around your house and sell it and earn an income. Um, so we're going to start today. I do reselling, like I said, baby clothes. You might have adult clothes. You might have shoes. You might have scarves. You might have handbags. But you can take those things, clean them up, and there's tons of online platforms that you can sell on. You can sell in the fleet. You can sell in the flea markets. You can take, and that costs. So don't just run to the flea market, because these flea markets are not cheap anymore. Years ago, they used to be inexpensive for people to take their old household things to flea markets. In some states they are cheaper, but in the state I live in Connecticut, what I have found going to the ones I've gone to, they are high. And sometimes you don't have the 20, the 30, the $50, the $100 for flea markets. I've heard of some flea markets being that high. But what you can do is you start your own online business selling what you have. There's different platforms. Personally, I sell on a few different platforms. Like I said, I've been selling for some time. And I will use this example of a little girl's coat. This coat was given to me by somebody who no longer needed it, and they passed it on to a family member, and she gave it to me. So with this coat, what I'm going to do is I'm going to list this coat on Poshmark or eBay, or I'm going to ask on my Facebook groups. There's tons of business Facebook groups that you can actually subscribe to, where you can place, not all of them, but you got to find a seller's platform on Facebook and find a group that you can do reselling in. And then what Facebook allows you to do is Facebook will allow you to take and publish that for sale as what they would call a listing. A listing is one segment of what they allow you a space to take photos on your cameras. A lot of you might have these cell phones. You might have your laptop. Take this coat, take pictures of it. Try to do the best you can with taking pictures. And you take this coat, you would take the coat photo of the front of the coat so that they can see everything, every detail, the bows in the backs, the buttons in the front. If it's missing a button, then you're going to have to put it on a listing of what button is missing. If there's a spot, sometimes there's a little spot. People will still buy things like this because you have people who are crafters, sewers, and they know how to get those spot removers out, or they'll put an applique over it and they'll dress it up for their child and stuff. So don't think that just because you have items that may be broken, you can't utilize. There are always people looking for things that you can take and sell, that you can make. You may not get the top dollar you want. When you're doing reselling, you don't always get the store price that the store sells at it. Yes, you would like to get that $60 back, but if you can get 20 or 30, well, fine, I don't want to take that. Well, sorry to say, but a lot of people, they're not going to pay that $50. Oh, I used it only one time. And, there's a store that people go to. There's also the children's store, some children's stores. You could look in your local children's store. They'll do a consignment. They'll do sales like Once Upon a Child. That's another place. You can use consignment originals. You have different consignment stores that you can sell on, that you can go ahead and put your products. You might have some slippers. You might have these canisters. I'm always seeing these canisters different places, and they'll put them in the Goodwill sometimes for 50 cents, for 99 cents. People will buy them. I buy them. If I find a cute little one that is in my mindset for what I'm looking for, I'll go ahead and I'll put this up. I'll pick it up and I'll do reselling. If I go to the flea markets, you can do tag sales outside your house. You can do all types of things to earn money. So don't give up. Don't be weary, but you got a plan. How am I going to pay my rent? How am I going to pay my car note? I share with people, if you have a high car note, see if you can give it back. Don't keep putting yourself in debt by holding on to things that are costing you a lot of money. You need the basic needs. You need a vehicle to get, that's your money maker. So to get around, go to the grocery store, whatever. You need gas in your car. You need a roof over your head. And sometimes you might have to take and give up that vehicle. People, I'm not going without. Well, you know what? I would rather personally have a roof over my head than that car, because I can walk. There's public transit. Some people have never taken public transit, but you can learn. You have to take and be able to make money to take care of your family, to take care of yourself. So also, I do children's boots. These are winters coming. You can go to the Goodwill. You can find boots that you can resell. These are Bear Paws, which is a good brand of children's shoes. I got to clean them up and stuff. I grabbed them out of the bag. But these are excellent soles. Go through the things that you need to take and go through. Clean them up, wash them out. Don't sell anybody anything that's dirty. Take your time to clean it up. You might have to do some mending and things like that. If you have to fix something, these are in excellent condition. But if you have to fix something, then you have to let the person know in your description that it's been altered or put together or torn. You have to list that. If there's a strong odor, I would encourage you, try not to sell items that are smoked. Any kind of smoke, any kind of dog or pet urine, things like that. People don't want that stuff. So if you can take and it's a lot of work to get those smells out of things, but you would have to list smoker, so another smoker would know that you smoke. So again, these are I believe these are by Children's Place. So these I have some Uggs, but these are by Children's Place. They're very lightly worn. you might can get $10, $15 for these, even $5. If you're not using them anymore, don't be afraid to take and come down on the price. If you're not going to use them, throw them out. I would rather get $1 than no dollars on something that is reusable. You have children's pants. You could do adult jeans. You can do seniors jeans, men's jeans, women's jeans. Some little jeans you're not going to use anymore. You could even do barter or trade. You could say, look, I have 10 pairs of children's pants. I'm looking for, and you tell them what you're looking for. People will trade with you. Again, I say make sure that you're keeping stuff clean, making sure that it's presentable. Um, Baby things. Baby things are so reusable that you can use these at all times. This is for one of the blankets that the mommy do nursing blanket with. This is a cover for it. Some cute little thing. This stuff can go for generations, and like I said, a few people I know, they're all about the same age. They're having children. So people trade them and they'll pass them on to other people that they don't have to put that money in. So being a reseller doesn't require much. It just requires time, effort, and a willingness to go and be proactive in your resourcing to make ends meet. Yes, there's other things. I've written a guide for how to make your money selling what you already own, reselling to make ends meet guide. It's a little brief little book. It's on Amazon now. And if you're looking just for a brief handbook to help you to take and get things together and stuff, whether it's tag sales, you could do tag sales out at your house. You can ask your church, organize tag sales for other people who may be going through situations right now, and sell those things. You got lamps you're not using. If you got glasses, if you have silverware. I went to buy skateboards for my grandchildren a few weeks ago, and somebody had silverware on the table, and he gave me all of the he gave me all of the silverware. Would have given me all of it, but I didn't want all of it. I wanted specific things. I wanted forks, and he gave me all of them for $1, 10 cents a piece, 20 cents a piece. Um, yeah, I just want to encourage you that you can go ahead and start your own reselling business with what you have. Ask people if you have appliances. You might have an extra microwave. Um, just go ahead and do those things that you can to take and make that money to take care of what you need to take care of, and get things going, and make that money to pay those bills. You can do it. You don't have to go without. And one thing I remember what the Lord had shared with a group of people I was in fellowship with, and the woman of God was giving a word that God, we were beggars. And I took offense to that. I'll be honest, I did. But what the Lord was saying, that you go around asking people, and you don't have to go around asking people. I believe he was saying that you can take it in your own power and your own strength, because he said he's given his people power to create wealth, that you can create your own, that you'll never have to go based on a system again. You start your business. You can start your own business and utilize your children, your husband. You all can do something together. There's tons of things to do. But right now, if you need that money now, if you have a winter coat you're not using, if grandma left you an inheritance of paintings, you can do some research. So go ahead and resell that stuff that you're not going to be using anytime soon, and start that business for yourself. Start on coaching someone. There's life coaching. There's tons of skills. A lot of you may have been in the market doing different things as clerks. You can do customer service. Start doing videos or something on great customer service, because we know the customer service now, unfortunately, that spirit. I'm going to just do a brief recap. If you're waiting on that spirit, I'm going to just do a brief recap. If you're waiting on the government, you don't wait on the government. You don't wait on anybody. When you need food in your mouth and food on your table for anybody. When you need food in your mouth and food on your table for yourself or your families, you have skills. God's given us gifts and talents. He's said in His Word that there's things that you can do that people need that service, whether it's uh, doing laundry, ironing, folding clothes. Well, Fern, I don't want to do that. Well, you know what? Like I'm sharing with you, these are tips that I'm giving you that you can do to help pay those bills, because I would rather fold some, and people are great folders. They're great with laundry. They're great with cleaning, that you can do to take and earn an income. I don't care if it's $10, $20. And like I was talking about reselling, I'm talking about business, starting up your own business. And I got a call last week from one of my daughters. Mom, would you come and babysit the kids for a couple of hours? I'll pay your transportation, because I didn't want to drive my car. Um, where I was going and stuff like that. And she was like, I got you covered. And I was so grateful, because that helps with my gas money and extending my things. So you can take and be proactive in paying your bills, taking what you have, cleaning it up, washing it up, and even asking your neighbors, telling them, hey, I have this for sale or that for sale. Do you know anybody who might be interested? I got these shoes, especially those designer clothes and stuff, designer pocketbooks. You know, they have. I'm not a big component of pawn shops, but if you have to for a time, you might have to, or ask a neighbor. I need some money. I'll give you this. Um, I'll be able to pay you back, and then you could give me back my item, so that you don't have to go and you don't have to scrape and complain and murmur and complain. That takes a lot of energy, complaining. But if you can take and start your business, go around the house, find 10 or 20 things, find the pots and pans you're not using anymore, find the things that are just sitting around, and go ahead and resell them on Facebook. You got Facebook, you have Poshmark, you have eBay, you have Craigslist of old. Um, you have a lot of different platforms that you can sell on to take and start a business to make the money that you need to pay your bills. You can do it. I hope these tips today have helped you in going forward and doing the things that you need to take care of yourself, to take care of your family. Another thing is, and I would only encourage you if you really are a people person and have a heart of kindness. You can do sitting, you can do companionship work and stuff. You can do these things to help other people, babysit. Don't babysit haphazardly. If you're going to make sure you're going to take care of somebody's child and you're take them into your care, don't do it just for the money. Take it to be a help, great help, good help, not halfway help. People don't need a halfway help. They need to know that their children or their parents, because there's companion, people are going to work, they need somebody to take care of their mom or their dad or their auntie or whomever it is. Be a great helper. Help someone. Think about somebody else. Thanksgiving's coming up, and I'm already planning my Thanksgiving baskets that I'm going to be ministering out to somebody who's in need. We can help. We can make it through this time. God has enough. I drove, and then I'm going to close, but I drove across some years ago to see my son a couple of things graduate from college. And when I saw the vast amount of land out there, I was like, this is ridiculous that people don't have. Because you know what? Somebody's not willing to take a share. But that's a requirement in the Bible. God talks about there's plenty, abundance. Be an abundant minded person. Be an abundant minded sharer with people. Because when you give and you have a heart to give, not begrudgingly, but when you have a heart to give, people will help you. You be encouraged. And I'm going to be coming back and doing another live. I'm going to be on my channel, FML Diversify. I talk about how to make ends meet, reselling, starting vending businesses. Um, tips on growing up for the teens and the young people and the single moms, and just being able to be a help to someone. And if there's just one person that has saw this live today that can help their self and help their children and put food on your table and keep that roof over your head until things work out for you, I'm glad, and I give all glory and honor to God, because all glory and God goes, all glory and honor goes to Him. So I hope you learn from this reselling tutorial and be encouraged. You can make it. Talk with you later. Have a great night. Bye bye. Great day.